Hi there. This is the 16th kind of problem that you might have on the ACT math. And there are a lot of these ones. Usually there's one of these on every test. And it's the hypothetical ones. And here's what I mean by that. It will just tell you some stupid thing like this, for example. See what I have right here? If A is greater than 0 and B is less than 0, the absolute value of A minus the absolute value of B is, and then it shows you more things with just stupid A's and B's. Well, there's two things that I usually do when I'm trying to solve these. Number one thing I always do is I assign random values. So I'll be like, okay, well, if A is greater than 0, I'll just say that A equals 1. And if B is less than 0, then I'll say that B is -1. But that doesn't always work. And unfortunately, in this case, it does not, because you'll find out that some of these answer choices, it could be correct sometimes, but not other times. So if I said 1 and -1, maybe that would be true, but I might still get the question wrong because that's not the case for every single possible positive value of A and negative value of B. So if you can't do that, if you find out that it could be a different answer if you use different values, then what I say is convert. And what do I mean by that? I mean that look at what it's like in the answer choices and change what they tell you to something that looks like that. So what do we see in the answer choices? Well, we see some absolute values. Not all the choices have that, but for one thing, that's what the question is asking. So how about we change these two things into something that's absolute value? So if A is greater than 0, how can we change that to something that has an absolute value sign? Well, if something is greater than 0, something is greater, it can be greater than 0 always if you take the absolute value of it. So if you take the absolute value of -3, for example, it's going to be greater than 0 because it's 3. So we can just say that the absolute value of A simply equals A. If A always is positive, then the absolute value of A equals that. Now, for B though, since it's it's less than 0, it's always less than 0. We can change this to say that the absolute value of B equals -B because B always has to be negative according to that statement. So if that's the case, then we can use these and plug it into this. So the absolute value of A equals A minus the absolute value of B equals -B. So it equals A plus B. Oh, what do you know? We find the answer. So that's just kind of a little bit dumb in my opinion, but that's unfortunately what some are like. And once again, depending on what your goals are, it wouldn't matter if you missed this question, but like I said, there's always people that want to get everything right, which is a good thing to do. So if that's you, then you might want to know how to do that. That's a little bit tricky, but you can get it.